here I'm making the rear panel. It's got the apex. I did start recording the front panel, which included the door, but my camera died. So, but this is pretty much the same, but it just hasn't got a door. Now I'm just working out the stud spacings. It's pretty much the same procedure as the side panel, which is on another video. The only difference with this, you don't put the top rail on, or the top plate. Obviously the studs have to be cut on an angle with a pitch. Again, I'm using 90mm ring shank nails. I've pre-cut these studs to a rough length, just a little bit longer than that's needed. So once I put the pitch on and mark it, I'll just trim them off with a skill saw. Again, you put the brace on to square it up. With this, I'll put a centre brace on, a temporary centre brace, and a temporary brace towards the top, leaving enough room so I can get the skill saw in. I always use what I call 312 pitch. Some of the buildings I do are quite wide, so obviously the wider the building, the higher the ridge will be, and to keep within permitted development, you have to be below 2.5 metres. I'll normally leave like a 500 gap between the building and the garden fence. That's mainly for maintenance and things like that. But if you keep the pitch there, it's a nice pitch. It's not too steep, so you can get right up on the roof without any problems. And it just keeps the height below the 2.5 on a wider building. This would be below anyway, but I'll just keep the pitches all the same. You see, I'm just marking the height of the side walls. So that's actually 2 metres 30 high. And because this hasn't got a centre stud, I mean, I could put one in, I could put an extra stud in, have 5 instead of 4, but the idea with this is it's more to do with weight. Because the framework's quite heavy duty, you're just trying to keep the weight down so they're manageable. Bearing in mind a lot of these have to be carried through someone's house. Now what I'm doing now, I'm going to put a brace in, or a noggin, towards the top, and then I'll put a centre piece up there so the ridge will be dead centre. It's not really important how high this brace goes, but on the front you've got to do it so it avoids the door. So you've got to put it in high enough, and what I try and do is get it in the right position so that can be used as part of the door frame. Yeah, I'm just marking the centre where the little small upright will go. You see I'm working out the pitch. I already know this, but I'm doing this just for reference. It's 1.8 metres wide. Divide that by 2, that's the span, and then you've got your run. Divide it by 12. I must have done something, press the wrong button there. You've got 900, which is the run, which is half of the span. Divide that by 12, and then times that by 3, which gives you your 312 pitch. It's actually a 14 degrees. And then you can double check that by adding that onto the height for the walls, and that'll give you your rise, which is 225 above the 2030. So I normally brace that little short piece as well, but I haven't for some reason. Only a temporary brace. Just marking where it needs to be cut with a skill saw. Yeah, I'm just showing you on the speed square. You go on common rafter, and if you put it to a 312 pitch, it gives you the degrees as well, which is 14 degrees, like I said. And that's the angle. Yeah, I am going to brace the centre bit going up to the ridge. I normally brace it just to hold its centre while it's being nailed. The reason I'm marking it with the actual top plate is because you have to deduct the thickness of the timber to keep to the height. Obviously, I've measured it 2030, which is the height for the sidewall. So if I was to just cut it off at that measurement and then put these on, I'd be 45mm too high. So I'm putting that to the underside of the spirit level marks and then just marking it underneath. I've left them long on the ends, oversailing slightly. Just cut them off after with a skill saw. This is the brace that I put in. I'll put one of these on every panel. Holds it square. Once you take the steel square off, that holds it square. See, on the front panel, I would have just put that brace either to the left or the right. Also, on the front panel where the door is, the two studs left and right of the door, I'll step them in 10mm, and they act as a stop bead for the door rather than trimming it with an extra stop bead. That just does the same job. So the cladding basically sits back either side by 10mm. Again, I'm using the coil nailer. They're ring shank nails, 38mm. I think the video cuts here. Battery died again. That's the truss that goes into the centre to reduce the span and the load on the roof. It's the same picture of the roof. That just hangs on joist hangers off the centre walls, off the side walls in the centre. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll get the next video up.